As we've already discussed, you can apply an audio effect to an individual event, that is an individual clip on your timeline. You can apply it to an audio track, an entire track at once, or you can apply an audio effect to the master control, which would apply that effect to every single clip on your entire movie. It applies to your movie overall. If you happen to launch the audio effects chooser here, or the track effects chooser for a track, you might notice that there are 3 effects that are applied already by default. And those are the track noise gate, the track equalizer or EQ, and the track compressor. These are tools that are used to sweeten or to clean up the sound of your audio track. And understanding how they work can really help you fine-tune the quality of your movie's sound. They're pretty high-level tools, but they're worth getting to know anyway. The purpose of a noise gate is, as the name would imply, to eliminate background noise in a scene. So if, for instance, if you got a narrator speaking, in the moments when he's not speaking, there are pauses. If you've got an air conditioner running, if you've got any kind of ambient noise in the background, in between him talking, you will hear those sounds. You will hear those background sounds. The noise gate shuts the audio down in between his speaking. And so the various settings for the noise gate are about setting what level it allows through the gate and what level it cuts off. And the other setting is release time, which is how abruptly it cuts that level off. And it's best to use the preset with a lot of these high-level settings and a lot of these high-level effects. And if you just set, for instance, noise gate 1, it's set to 10 milliseconds for the attack time, and the release time is set to 500 milliseconds. Now, the attack time is how quickly the gate closes. So after the narrator's done speaking, you want it to be natural. You don't want it to immediately go quiet. This will softly, over a period of about 10 milliseconds, it will softly close the gate and it will go to complete silence. The release time is how quickly it comes back up again when the narrator is speaking. So that's the purpose of a noise gate, to kind of eliminate sort of ambient noises in the background so that you only hear the dominant sound. The equalizer you may recognize if you work with high-fidelity audio. The equalizer will set the levels of the audio's bass, its mid-range, its treble, and you can set it pretty precisely. So you can set, and it's usually best, again, to use the presets with these. You can set this to put more emphasis on the bass, if you want to have much more bass boost, heavy bass boost. To cut out hiss at the end, so it's cutting off some of the top end of those sounds. And you can see that some of these will make your sound a more powerful sound, or it can make your sound much lighter or sweeter. And using the presets, you can see that you get some very, very nice options in here for controlling your audio levels at specific frequencies. And again, if you've used a stereo and you've fine-tuned your bass and your treble and your mid-range, you're probably familiar with a lot of how the equalizer works. Finally, the track compressor. The level you set your compression determines how closely the level of your quietest sound and your loudest sound is. Notice a lot of times if you're watching television, for instance, commercials may seem louder than the television show. It's because they're very highly compressed and they seem much louder because they don't have moments of quiet and moments of loud. Everything is at the same level of loudness. So it can be unnatural, it can be very powerful. You want to set it based on whatever your specific needs are. So you can set whatever limiter or compressor you want there. So those are 3 effects that are applied by default to every track, and you can decide what settings to set them at or just leave them completely turned off. The audio gate, the equalizer, and the compressor. These are track effects that fall into the category of effects that work best when your audience doesn't even know you've applied them. Their effects are subtle, yet they can be very effective. So if you're just making a simple home movie, you may not even want to mess with them. But with them, you can create a movie with a very strong audio presence.